Rosie taking a nap on the road.
This one over there, and can I have my water?
She's like, I'm so done with all of you.
I just put it down.
Can I say I don't blame her? It's been a rough couple of that. It's just hilarious to me. She's like, done, sister, done. Cracks me up.
You ready to go restore the nation one disaster at a time?
Yes.
Come on! Look at this! You guys look awesome.
Wish me luck, here we go. What's up, Restore Nation?
This is like, what, day 3?
Yeah, we've been really bad.
Day 3 of vacation, or work. At this point, technically it'd be vacation because it's a Memorial weekend, and we're also enjoying the time that we're doing on traveling, which is why we're in Kansas City. We're at a really cool extended stay place, so it has like enough room for us. And today we are off to Worlds of Fun, which is like an awesome, huge amusement park. It's not Disneyland, but
it's cool. So yeah, we're gonna basically we drove the fifth wheel from Sioux City to Kansas City, and it went really well. Ted drove it like a pro. I drove right behind him, kind of tried to act like a pilot vehicle, making space for him sometimes. And we got to where we needed to go, which was Cabela's. They let us stay and park for 4 days, which is awesome. So if you're an RVer and you need a spot to just stick your fifth wheel and you're in a big city that has a Cabela's, they're super nice. Most Walmarts only let you stay for 1 day, but they were super
cool about it.
Yeah, super cool with us. Since we've been here, basically just been swimming, and like I said, Carson got food sickness, so we kind of had to push back 24 hours and defer our Worlds of Fun tickets a day, which was nice that they were willing to do that, because they don't actually do refunds, so that would have really sucked.
You don't want to lose several $100 for a day because of sickness. That really sucks.
Yeah, that's not fun. So anyways, now we're waiting for Carson. He forgot his Apple Watch, but
we should have vlogged him puking.
We should have.
He could have clipped to it. Whenever like he wasn't feeling it.
Yeah, no, we didn't do that to Carson, thank goodness for him. But yeah, poor guy, he had a rough time. He just has a very sensitive stomach, so we do our best to slow down for him a little bit, 'cause sometimes he just needs an extra minute. But
there he is.
anyways, we're gonna go grab coffee as per usual, and then we're gonna go to the park.
I have coffee, right?
Got to.
First thing when we first got here was we were trying to do the parking, right? And we're trying to find which row to go into to come in to park. Anyways, so we're like just go over to the far end one. Like use that one. So Tori goes over to the far end. She drives us through, and as we go, it's like totally empty. And there's only like one other car in front of us, and we're like why is nobody else using this one? Until we passed a sign farther up that says for buses only. So we're going through like the charter bus side, and Tori's cruising through there, and she's like, what do I do? And I was like, just go, I guess. I don't know. So she just drives us through it. And then after we get through, it's like there's nowhere to go. This other guy's like trying to back up and reverse, but like I said, like literally there's nowhere to reverse and back up and go back out of, because it's one way. And now there's other cars that were following Tori in. And so it's like, go to the VIP parking. So she keeps driving, she goes through the VIP parking, and we find a parking spot, and we're gonna try to find somebody to tell them, but there's like nobody to talk to, nobody to tell. And it's like, by the time we get in there, it's just like, what do? You know? So, free parking, free VIP parking, I suppose.
Us and a whole bunch of other people.
Yeah, so yeah, we all got free VIP parking that day today for going through the bus route. So that was a cool start. And then when we're going in there, it turns out you're not supposed to have your snacks in there. Tori hands the bag to the lady. As the lady next to us is pulling out snacks from this other people's bags, telling them they can't have them. The other lady searches our bag, looks at all our snacks. She's like, you guys are good, go ahead and go. So like we just...
He's not even playing, like we're talking crackers, Oreos, Chips
Capri
Ahoy,
Suns,
gummies,
waters,
tons of stuff. And she's just looking at him and she's like, you're good, you can take it in.
Yeah.
While the lady literally next to us is having to empty her bag of snacks.
Yeah, simultaneously. So we're like, well, sweet, free snacks, free parking, I guess, man. Like life's working out. It is May 30th. I am getting ready to GPS Tori to Cabela's where the fifth wheel is. We're picking up and we're heading out.
That was our 4th night in a hotel. So
yeah,
that's kind of why we look the way we look. Ted literally looks the same no matter what, but that's why I look.
What does that mean though? Is that good or is that bad?
That's good. You
I always look hot.
You
like I always look good.
Like you never out.
Like that's just me. I'm naturally cool. We are now picking up the fifth wheel in the truck. Hopefully everything's intact. Everything looks good there.
Right or left?
Right. The big thing I'm hoping on is that, because last time we left the fifth wheel overnight, we left something on, which I think it was just an overhead light. I think we found it, but our battery was dead when we came. I'm hoping this time that's not a case. We can just boop, hit the stabilizers, go up, and we're out of here. Otherwise,
my main concern is we have probably $200 worth of meat in the freezer, and we don't 100% know if what we did, because we have this setting on the fridge where it can be like propane, electric, or propane and electric, which means like if you don't have electric, it'll switch to propane. So we switched it to propane because we didn't want to drain the battery, but we also don't fully know how long a propane tank lasts.
yeah, we don't know. Is it going to only last a couple days? Is it going to last a month? I don't know how much
I feel like
propane it takes to run a fridge.
While. Yeah, like I just don't even know.
So today we're driving straight all the way to Durant or Durant. We haven't decided. We're going to call it Durant. We feel like Durant. We feel like Durant sounds better than Durant.
Sounds like a more esteemed location.
Yeah, but it's Oklahoma. That's kind of on the border of Texas. And then we're just pretty much going to get there, stay the night, wake up, and then drive straight to Galveston. Which, like I said, we're not directly in Galveston. We're like right between Houston and Galveston. But the drive looks pretty promising for the fifth wheel. I don't think there's any big issues. We got to drive through Dallas and Houston, but it's pretty much going to be all on 45 with a straight shot. So I don't think we'll have much issue.
So currently I'm trying to get Ted turned around. We just about killed a car of people. Both of us are trying to figure out a route to U-turn without actually U-turning because we can't U-turn with the fifth wheel, and we had to just pull over because a bunch of crap was literally falling off the fifth wheel on the side. We go in, turns out our fridge will completely not turn on. The fifth wheel itself, like the window flaps, like 2 of them just got ripped off from the wind, and I don't even know how because on the way here it didn't even move, and we have not touched them since. So it's either someone tried to break into the fifth wheel while we were gone, or maybe it just wasn't as windy because today is actually a wind advisory. Anyways, 2 things got ripped off. I'm like, oh my word, this new wrap we just had done is gonna look freaking stupid now. Thankfully the wrap was not affected. It's all figure outable, but it's all very frustrating. And then something's beeping in the fifth wheel and we can't figure out what it is. We think it's a fire detector or smoke detector, but we don't know. Tried the only smoke detector I could find, took out the battery, and there's still a beep somewhere. So anyways, that's where we're at. First half hour on the road, going really well.
It is the day after the 6.5 hour trip that turned into an 11-hour trip.
11 hours, guys.
And all we went a 6.5 hours worth of drive when it came to the GPS. Like it was bad. We had stop after stop.
Multiple side of the road stops for peeing, which whatever. I'm sorry if that grosses you out, but like there's nowhere to pull off with this giant thing. We have to just side of the road it.
Well, it's been, and then we had the escapade where something was flying off the fifth wheel, and then, man, I'll tell you what, this truck eats gas, dude. Like I pay like, I think right now like I'm averaging like a mile $1 is about like what I pay. So like I've averaged it out.
Really, really good deals.
So we're in gas we're in gas stations within like a couple hours, not counting the intermittent stops that children make us take. And now we're gonna have to jump the truck right now because at the end of the night we found there's I don't know why, but the truck is not charging.
Yeah, they have diesel. I just don't know where.
Yeah, you just can't get in there though. The truck is not charging the fifth wheel battery, which it should be when it's driving, but it's not. And obviously it's Memorial Weekend. We're about to hit the road again. We need to figure out why. I mean, I'm not highly concerned at this very second. I'm sure it's something reasonable and feasible, but you know, stupid.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it. It's stupid. Learned about DEF yesterday. It's exhaustion fluid for a diesel. Like, didn't know anything about that. All of a sudden the warning sign comes up and it's like, hey, you got 75 miles till you're out. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And I look it up and it's like, your truck will start going 4 miles an hour. That this is not filled. No clue what it is.
Okay, y'all, we need to chat, right? Okay, so what a wild day yesterday. Stop, just stop, babe. If you're being annoying, stop. Okay? Thank you. See what I mean? You know what I mean? Yeah, the situation in Tulsa was awful. He literally, so like there was this construction area where in order to get on the proper exit, you had to turn around off of an exit, get back on south instead of north, and then basically go through like a tiny little residential spot, and they created an entrance onto the interstate there. So all these signs leading up to this are like, the road is closed, like dead end road is closed, business, through traffic for business only. Like if you're going to any of those businesses on this tiny little residential spot, it's the only reason that you're gonna wanna be here, okay? My husband just blows past the entrance onto the interstate. I just don't think he saw it because he was so like stressed out. And then I'm behind him and I'm like, maybe the GPS told him to keep going? I don't know, but mine didn't. So then I just kind of watch him and I'm seeing more signs that are like road closed, dead end coming, pretty much. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give him a call. And I'm like, bro, you are like gonna end up at the barricade of concrete, you know, the big concrete barriers. I'm like, bro, you need to pull off like now. He's like, I know, I don't know where to go though, there's nowhere to go. And I'm like, well, you don't have a choice. And like, he's still driving as he's saying this. And I'm like, you need to pull off right now. It doesn't matter where, you're gonna end up stuck. And then we're gonna have to call a tow truck because you're gonna literally be stuck at the concrete barriers and you can't just back up. Like, you'll need somewhere to turn, you know what I mean? So anyways, he ends up pulling into this random tiny little like super ghetto motel. I didn't even know if it was open, it was that bad. And he starts driving right into like this maybe 9-10 foot awning, and I'm like, you are at least a 12-foot clearance, my guy. Like, you are about to take this whole awning with you. I don't even know where you're going. And I'm like, stop. I'm like, you're gonna pull the whole awning out. And he's like, okay, fair enough. What do I do? I'm stuck. And like, I sound calm, but homeboy was stressed out. Like, you know when you're like stressed mad, stressed anxious, like you're not really mad at anyone, you're just mad. Like, you're just like frustrated with the situation. That's about where he was at. I was about there too. So then he's like, well, I'm stuck. I literally can't back up. Well, thankfully, the parking lot, I think because maybe the motel really was closed, there was like no one there. So he was able to pull back, had to help navigate him a little bit, had to go around the back of the building to help him back up because he'd never backed it up to that degree. And thankfully we got it pulled out. We did tear up some grass there. We definitely took out a yard. Like, we were in the grass pretty hardcore, but there was nowhere else to go. Well, Mr. Hamilton decided to pull us off on the side of the road at some random truck stop where we haven't been able to stop for 3 hours. This is our first stop. Dake decides to get a bloody nose. Rosie is losing her ever-loving mind because bugs exist in Texas. Ted's over here getting air. And I don't even know what else is happening there. Why do we need air? I don't even want to know. So yeah, had a basic breakdown, but that's cool. Why do you need air? Did you get into it? We had a little guy in the gas station say to me, do you want a picture? And I was like, sure. And he's like, that'll be $2. Hustler. But I respect it. It was cool. We are in Houston traffic now, which has its own special. I think anyone who's ever driven through Houston gets what Houston traffic is. Like it's pretty next level. Like there's just a million cars, you're constantly stopping, there's constant car accidents. It's a lot, like a lot. And of course we're trying to navigate Ted and 100 other things happening. So we're gonna get through it, but